Hello, Spike here, and welcome to the Dragon's Den. Now, this is something that I am trying out. This is where I come up with a topic and I state my thoughts on it. So, today, there is a problem in New York City that has to be fixed. No, I'm not talking about Nanny Bloomberg. I'm talking about walk-around characters. Yeah. This is something that's been going on as of recent. If you ever traveled to Times Square, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know, there are a few people who wear these cheap knockoff costumes of some well-known children's characters, anywhere from Mickey Mouse to Spider-Man. Well, some are immigrants trying to make a living. Sounds okay, right? Not when you get stories like this. Just as of recent, a man in a Cookie Monster costume was asking some parents to have their 2-year-old son take a photo with him. After it was taken, he wanted $2 from them. The father was sent off to the ATM to retrieve the money, but the man thought that they had not tipped fast enough, so he then pushes the boy. Cookie Monster pushing a 2-year-old boy. Wasn't Sesame Street supposed to be a show for little children? As a matter of fact, this problem has been increasing within the past year. There were stories of Spider-Man punching a woman in the face, Super Mario groping another woman, and an anti-Semitic Elmo. I'm actually not making that up. So the police have to get involved, right? Well, that's the problem. Even though the man in the Cookie Monster costume was arrested for endangering the welfare of a child, they are hard to regulate. There are anti-mask laws in place, which has been around since 1845, but was updated in 1965 to prevent a gathering of 2 or more people wearing masks. Other than that, they could either be viewed as vendors or street performers, which makes it that much more difficult. If Fox News in an article called them entrepreneurs who dress up as pop culture characters. Well, anyone can tell you that none of these idiots can even come close to being called an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business taking on a financial risk to do so. Even Mayor Bloomberg said, quote, "We have tried at various times to regulate people who dress up and then get you to take a picture with your kid and then demand money or harass you in other ways. It's not against the law, so I'm sorry, maybe it should be." Which I have to call BS on the second half of that quote. Section 240.26 of New York City law says a person is guilty of harassment in the second degree with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another person that makes physical contact or attempts or threatens to, or follows a person in and about a public place, or engages in a course of conduct or repeatedly commits acts which alarm or seriously annoy such other persons and which serves no legitimate purpose. On top of that, even though they may ask you for money if a photo is taken, it is not enforceable. I have taken business law, and I should know that. It's the equivalent of someone mowing your lawn without you knowing about it and then coming to your door and asking for money. So now the city is proposing 2 pieces of legislation. The first bill would require registration and a permission slip proving that the character involved has been licensed. The other bill, which would have been an outright ban on costumes, but was changed so that they would prevent characters from soliciting. So now what comes to mind is if either of these pass, how would it affect fursuiters in New York City? Well, if there was an outright ban, there would obviously be a lot of concern, because not only would it affect the characters in Times Square, it would affect all character performers just wanting to perform, which was why it was changed, because it violates the First Amendment. Requiring registration would be a hassle, even for something like charity. The man who came up with the idea, New York Police Department Sergeant Ed Mullins, said it would allow them to summons people and have them submit fingerprints. This is just too much. The second bill, on the other hand, wouldn't really affect fursuiters, since we don't normally ask for money. Even if it was something for like raising money for a charity, which we do a lot, all it takes is a handler to do it. So this would be our best bet if this were to go through. As for the other characters banging in Times Square, quit making us look bad. It would have been okay for you, but unfortunately you brought it upon yourselves. You can't just force anyone to pay you just because you're looking for money. I've heard that there's a naked cowboy that plays there, and he would be better to approach than any of you right now. I understand that you're trying to live, but if you don't have the right mind to act civilized, maybe you should hang up the costume. I am SpikePap, and thank you for joining me in the Dragon's Den.